You don't have to stake with Luna. You just have to get in early enough. Like I said, $320 some right about now will get you 1 million of them. If it gets to $1, then there you go. That's your millionaire. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back, Spencer's Crypto Vibe. So I normally wouldn't make a back-to-back video or a subject, go back-to-back subjects for my videos. But this is the 17th of September, and something really big is about to happen for this to be in a bear market. It feels like it. So I want to put a little bit, like another parallel on what I think might happen here with Luna Classic. It's okay, it's a bear market, right? Everything's down. There's not a whole bunch of money moving around. There's not a whole bunch of new liquidity coming in right now, and any liquidity people to find are jerking out. Okay, this happened before, and you know who it reminds me of? It reminds me of a token called Hex. Now, I'm not going to try to give you the history of Hex because I wasn't involved in it, and I'm not now. But back in 2020, I'm pretty sure it was 2020, Hex was kind of on a downward spiral, almost like there was an exploit or like something went wrong or people weren't interested in it. For whatever reason, it broke. I don't know. Wasn't involved with it to know. But what I do know now is, looking back, that was very, very wrong, because Hex has done miraculous. Okay, so now I'm not part of Hex. But what I do know is, when I looked at the charts, and I pulled up a chart on Hex. So let's go back to, where did I look back on Hex? I looked here a long time ago. Okay, so in 2020, it spent a lot of time down here bouncing around at 0.001, 0001, all the way back to 0.00004 is the lowest price that I can see recorded. That's 4 zeros and a 4. Okay, that's 1,000th of a penny is what it started at. It ran from, but we'll just say for the sake of argument, from 0.0001, 3 zeros and a 1, to 1 penny, which is 0.01. That will be 100x. Okay, Hex did that from here in, I think on the chart it says 331 days. It went 100x in less than a year. Okay, now that was in the bear market, just like we're in the bear market now with Luna. That was working with $5.8 million market cap. Okay, Luna is working with $1.7 billion market cap. Little disparity there, but the point is, market caps aside, there's more money in the system now. Hex did 100x in the first, say, 10 months, maybe 11 months. That's phenomenal. What we're looking at, oh, and then, as if that wasn't enough, followed up in the next 300 days, in the next close to a year, 11 months, they went, and I remember in 2020, it was so low, everybody was saying, if Hex gets to a penny, we're going to be rich. And I didn't know anything about Richard Hart. I mean, you watch videos, you can't not watch a video and see Richard Hart somewhere, you know, flossing watches and crazy colored name brand stuff. So it went, nobody said it was going to get to a penny. Nobody thought in their wildest dreams it was going to get to a penny. And when 2021 kicked in, our bull run sort of year, in the beginning half of the year it started to move, and it got to a penny. Okay, so 100x to get to 1 penny, right? That made a bunch of people in Hex rich. So you're thinking, it's going to have to pull back from here anytime now. It can't keep running. Tokenomics aside, it went to 1 penny. Everybody thought it would pull back tremendously, and maybe people would jump in there. What did it do? Over the last half of that year, the next half of that year, that thing spiked up to 47 cents. I thought it went even higher than that, but I'm looking at the chart. They said 47 cents. So 100x to 1 penny, and then 47 more x from that point is 4,700x from simply 2 years ago. Okay, that's Hex. Now, Market caps, tokenomics, all of that. I could dig into that for the rest of the evening, but I'm not going to. It's late. I have this on my mind. I just wanted to get this out. But one thing that we have in common, first, it's a long term, it's a serious degen play, long shot. You know, one of the shit coins, one of the, you know, billions, hundreds of billions of token supply. It's yes, 581 billion token supply, at least now. I don't know what it was back then, if they started with the full supply or if you mint them along the way. I'm not sure how that works. But they were doing that movement. They were doing this movement on, look at this volume here. 6 million, 13 million, 12 million. Then when it starts to spike, 38 million, 46 million, 51 million, up to just roughly $40 million of volume. That's what they're doing this on. That's how they're moving up here. This is Hex. Just for, and this video isn't a Hex video, but I just wanted to show you the chart. These are the numbers that they gave. Right now it dropped back to 3 cents. It was up to 47 cents. Now it dropped back to 3 cents. 581 billion Hex. The number 20 market rank, you know, depends on what chart you look at, and 62 billion staked, 2 billion total value locked. Not bad. You know, they got stuff staked for 6.5 years, and that's fine. But this is a log chart, so this isn't showing you the amount of progression, but we're going from 3 zeros to 2 zeros, right, to 1 0. So this is the area I'm talking about. That's a 100x. Now this is a 10x, and this is a 10x. But you know, on a log chart, the differences, you wouldn't be able to show them on the same chart. Like this actually would look more like, it would just go straight up off the chart. So Hex had a remarkable day. Okay, that's enough of Hex. What I want to talk about is Luna C, LUNC, Luna Classic. Some of the similarities are there in the bear market, in the high circulating supply. Even though Luna C, Lunc, LUNC, or however you say it, has 6.9 trillion maximum supply, with about 6.15 trillion right now circulating supply. There are burn mechanisms in place. There's staking in place. There's a new one that came out the other day. I cannot remember the name, but saved my life. But they took 331 days to do 100x. If we could do 100x, we're 150 days into this game. We're 5 months in right now, and we've gone from 0004 up to 005. Okay, now we're back down to 0005. We're back down to 0003 right now. But from the lowest recording that I could find on the chart, which is, here's the chart. This is what Luna used to look like whenever it was coming down off that huge exploit, right? So if you look at the chart with that on the screen, this is what it looks like Luna's done since then. But it hasn't. It's done a lot of things. Like, look at the price. 00016, 0000482. Can you tell that this is lower than that? You can't on this scale. But let's move this chart in. When you move the chart in and just get that spike out of the edge, this shows we're here. Now you can see what the movement actually looks like on a different scale. So it's actually done a lot of moving. And ever since Luna Classic formed, I guess, or picked up the slack, I'm not sure how to even term it, it's had ups and downs. The lowest reading I could find is 0.00004. So we're up to, at our highest, 0.005. We've already done a 10x. That means we need a 3x to take us to a tenth of a penny, and then a 10x to take us to 1 penny. So we're only 30x away. Hex did a 100 in half a year, and I don't know if they had any burn mechanism in place, but we need to get our market cap down. I mean, our circulating supply from right now 6.15 trillion down, if we can get it down to where Hex's was at 581 billion. Granted, that's 80% less tokens on our supply, but it has to happen. We need to get it down there, and we have all the big boys are trying to get on board. All of the burn mechanisms through the on-chain transactions, but the off-chain of the centralized exchanges, those are the ones I think we're going to have an issue with. Everybody can explain how that's going to work and what's going to come off, and most people are guessing. Nobody knows who's going to take part. We don't know if CZ is going to take part, or if he's poker facing it, or if he's not going to take part for Binance. Binance owns 50% of the transactions. That would be a huge bump if he agreed to burn transactions off chain. That would be amazing. That would help us pull it down tremendously. But if we get the supply down, and we can get that thing moving up in the right direction by shrinking the supply and keeping the demand steady, which automatically would raise the price up a little bit, then FOMO kicks in. And even though I try to preach to everybody, don't get into FOMO, people are always going to get into FOMO. If this thing starts approaching a penny, it's going to become a gangbuster. It's going to become a game. Let's jump in and get this thing to a penny. Stuff like Wall Street bets will start to take effect. Now, are we going to burn? So if we look on Twitter here, we can see on September 16th, 19 million Luna were burned. This could be for anything. It's not for the 1.2% tax yet. But on the 15th, the day before that, 34 million Luna were burned. The day before that, 32. The day before that, 53. Like, it just keeps going down. And it's making a substantial hit on the number. We get it down, we're going to be good to go, and I think Luna's going to take off. I really did want to, like, I did all these numbers, and I wanted to share the numbers with you and show if we do our 30x and get to a penny, we're set. Like, if you have, say you spend a few $100 today, you spend 300 and something bucks, 320 bucks or something, you get 1 million LUNCs. 1 million. So then you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to stake it. You don't have to do anything but go out and follow people, try to get them to get some Luna. The more we buy, the more gets burned, and this price comes up to a penny, then you have 10,000 for your $300 investment or your $320 investment, whatever it is right this very second. Then you have 10 grand. Then what if the Hex effect kicks in? What if the bull market kicks in about this time? What if the new run start and new liquidity starts kicking in, and people saw and hear all of the Twitter tales and all of the Facebook posts and all the YouTube videos about, man, I already made $50,000 off Luna and in Luna Classic, and some people haven't even heard of it at that point yet. Now they're gonna be like, who's making all this money on Luna Classic? And they're gonna want to buy some. They can't not. You can't fight it, and that Hex thing might happen. Where we're fighting so hard to get to 1 penny, might mess around and approach $1, and that's what everybody's talking about. I don't like to think of that, because that makes my mind say we might get $1, and then when we fall short of $1 and I feel hurt and rejected, I'm not worried about that right now. I think it's a tremendous chance that we can make it to a penny. 30x from this point means $90 trillion market. I mean, almost $50 trillion, $50 billion market cap. That sounds high, but that's still not as high as Solana and Binance. No, maybe higher than Solana, not Binance, Ethereum, and things. So it's not at the very top. However, the market cap won't have to be that high, because for us to get there, we will have burned a lot. We have to get into the top 10 in market cap and kind of float in that area, like Luna was already at the top 10 before, in order for this to happen. But it won't have to go to the full 40 billion, I mean, or 50 billion for that to happen. So that's what I'm hoping for. That was jarbled, but this is so important. I think, like, if you look back at Hex, you want to hurt yourself, because you missed all of those gains. If you think that was legit or whatever, I don't know. I wasn't in it, like I said. But the ramp up was huge. And others have big ramp ups. A lot of coins get big ramp ups, but not small ones, crazy degen plays that can stick around for a while. Not this just pump and dump in a week and that's it and it's over. I'm talking like real long-term plays. Luna has a big name, but 𝐦𝐤𝐤's not in it anymore. The people who messed it up and the thing that ran it out of business, sorta, are not involved anymore. So if people were writing on Luna before, if they were coding and writing that apps and dApps on there, they can do it again. It's going to take a minute to get them started, fired up, and get things out on the network. But they can start, and people will know people are building on it and using it and writing dApps for it, and that will drive up the thing. Luna has a good name in people's memory. If Luna Classic can get that fervor back, I think this thing can run. I think this could be the thing that changes a whole bunch of people's pockets. And it sounds like hopium, so I think I'll stop there. There's nothing. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But it sure does look good. If you want to play on a game like this and you pick, oh, look at this one thing, just for one point to bring up. Here's one thing that I saw on the Hex page that shocked me. Buying just $105 a Hex at its all-time low on the 5th of January 2020 would have made you a millionaire. And that's without staking. Same thing with Luna. You don't have to stake with Luna. You just have to get in early enough. Like I said, $320 some right about now will get you a million of them. If it gets to $1, then there you go. That's your millionaire. And the likelihood, the more I look at what happened to Hex and draw the comparisons, I don't have time to spell them all out. Nor do I know them all, but I can research and remember what I remember. I think there's a chance that Luna C could be one of those freak plays. And we've seen it happen with Hex. That's just what's been in my head. As soon as I saw this small market cap, huge circulating supply, I initially thought of them, and it starts to really line up. It makes a lot of sense. So different times, different volumes, different market caps, different products, different tokenomics, different everything. But history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. That's what people say. Okay, guys, I got to go. I appreciate you sticking around to the end. I appreciate you listening to my blather for a minute. It's late, but I was too hyped. I had to talk, and I just wanted to draw that one comparison. LUNC could be this year's bear market star, like Hex was. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I hope you make some money out there. I'll see you guys.